Hi everyone, we are back again with the third session to kind of continue our development live, for a standardized open source test-driven library for OpenAI.net. And for those who are not familiar with what this is, and this is the first time somehow you stumbled upon this stream, what we're really doing here is that we're basically building something solid that follows our principles, the engineering standard principles, called OpenAI library. And this OpenAI library is basically just a wrapper around, the existing OpenAI API. And I'm going to leave the link here just for people to kind of take a look and in the chat, so you can just take a look and see what's actually going on there. But also at the same time, I'm going to add in a lot of references there for what the standard is, what the standard community is, what we're really doing with all of this software. And, we're going to kind of experiment together and see, how we can use it and leverage it in some innovative and genuine ideas. Um, Last time, Brian and I were basically setting up the core foundation for an API broker. This API broker is gonna help us communicate through RESTful API communications to OpenAI and bring us back some data. Today things get a little bit more serious. We're gonna start implementing, the brokers to implement text completion API integration. Just to kind of bring people up to speed on this, if you go to OpenAI and then API reference in here, there is the text completion, which is the very first one in here. This text completion basically focusing on you give the AI some stuff and AI will try to autocomplete that for you. If you want to see a real life example, something like this. Student, let's do this. Teacher, teacher is asking, what's the tallest building in the world? And then if you do student like this and just leave it there, and if I click submit, AI will try to complete that story for you. So it's basically imagining a scenario where you can use it for chat, you can use it for autocomplete while people are writing code. If you're using Copilot, something like Copilot, it basically assumes what's going to happen next. It builds a prediction model, basically. And the conversation could go on and on like this. We're building an API that allows you to pull that kind of power and capability right into your .NET app. But more importantly, you're pulling it in fully trusting that the integration point that you're working with is open source and test driven. So if any error or any issue happens, you're going to get the proper exception that truly reflects the issue that's going on, with the API. Whether it's your fault, the API fault, whoever fault it is, it doesn't matter, right? You're going to get the right information for that. So last time I was kind of hogging the keyboard, so I'm gonna let kind of Brian play around a little bit. But just for the reference, we figured out the authentication part. We know that we need to add a bearer, an organization ID. All of this is great. We're gonna pass that through the configuration. Configuration is gonna be able to pass this to the broker. We're all good and dandy there. Here's the first one that we care about. This is the creating a completion. So the API endpoint here is going to be this little guy here. So API.openai.com, V1 completions, all that. But also we need to send a body, right? And this body will have a bunch of information in here. Okay, Brian, I'm going to hand over to you. Go ahead and try to kind of reflect that model and let's see where we go from there. You're on mute, by the way.
Yep. No worries. You got my screen there?
Yes, sir.
No worries. Okay, let's just quickly, I'll just drag over the window for the proposed model I want to use. Now I want to just make one thing clear. There's two completion requests. There's a completion request and a completion request for chat. So I only targeted just the simple completion request at the moment, which isn't exactly that simple. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So it has a whole heap of JSON property names. You'll see that I've got here, and I had to map them to C# property names. Now I had to take a few liberties. Now somebody's raised a concern. I've renamed this top P to probability mass, and I also renamed N to completions per prompt.
Oh, people already started engaging with you in the issue? Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, cool. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
I'll just try and find those issues. I'll just drag them over. Oop, I lost them.
I can see the issue 17.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, further down here. Sorry. Yep.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
So this gentleman's pointing out that we should probably leave it as something like top P. Now,
Okay.
what's the thoughts
We
here?
Obviously the API standard, the API naming conventions do not match C# naming conventions, right?
Mm-hmm.
For many, many reasons. We can't use underscore. Underscore is not the best practice, for using property names. There is the lowercase, uppercase. It's not gonna work. He said top P, but what is P? What does
Yes.
it mean? What does it stand for? So I
Yeah.
am,
I
go
wasn't
ahead.
sure either, so I went and did a little bit of research, and it actually stands for this thing called probability mass, and that's
I'd
why I
I'd
come up.
rather have us say probability mass. I'm 100%. Let's Lou Elbic, Athena in the chat if you have other, ideas. But I think probability mass is.
And the other one was this, um, which is
Oh my
and
God, N,
yeah,
just
yeah,
N.
and yes, I knew you'd like that
No,
one.
no. I'd literally rather write like a whole paragraph for a property name.
Yeah, so it
Otherwise
was.
people are gonna go look. I don't know what
Yep.
that means.
Hmm. Now, we normally don't put comments at all in our stuff, but I did on this occasion because of this particular. You see what I've written here? The OpenAI team don't really want us to fiddle with both of these. They only want us to change one at a time from the defaults.
OpenAI generally recommend altering this. No, that's gonna instead of writing a comment here, we're
Hmm.
gonna write a validation rule that we're gonna test drive.
Yeah,
And
well, it's only a recommendation.
oh, it's just a recommendation, right? I see.
Mm. Doesn't say we can't, and it doesn't say we shouldn't.
How do we, Brian? How do we communicate a warning?
Yeah, that's what that's the exact question I was asking, my friend.
How do we
So
communicate a
I
warning?
thought the only thing I could do was, you know, when I have it here, it comes up as a comment when we're with IntelliSense. We see, but that's only at the broker level, of course, because we'll only be using this model at the broker level in the foundation service. So,
Mm, I think that's okay for now, but we're gonna have to circle back on this one because the only place where we can leave comments is three
yeah.
places. There is the APIs because people don't have access to your code. There's the external models, the models that your end user will be using. Yeah, sure, they don't have access to that code. And then in your test, we write given when then. When you do given when then, that's the only place where you can actually use a comment. But other than that, if your code doesn't describe it, anyway, we could circle back on this one. I think that's okay. Um, what
Now,
matters? Go ahead. Go ahead.
your foundation models, are they internal or are they public?
All of them are internal. The last, well, we're gonna have two types of models here. We're gonna have
Hmm.
external models that fit the API, and then our foundation services will do the mapping from these external models into
Yep.
our local models will be exposed to the outside world.
So yeah, that's what I thought, and I went with internal. So I'm just going
You
to
did the right
copy that.
thing.
Yep.
You did good, my friend. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So now what? What do we do? Let's let's build our first broker. I know that we need to send a request. Well, first of all, we need the relative URL. So Brian, let's go to OpenAI broker, create a partial interface, and let's agree on the interface first.
So OpenAI. Sorry. Yeah,
So just create a new file called IOpenAI
yep.
broker.completions.cs. You know what's better than building this library? The people that are learning the little things that we do, in the process. So they're learning AI, they're getting to know us, people that they can go ask questions, but more importantly, but lastly, they get a nice, sweet library that they can use and play around with and stuff like that.
Oh, sorry. What was it? Completions.
Completions.
Yep.
So this is the part that will be concerned with all the completion things, right?
Hmm.
So let's do that. And then in that interface, it should nest right under that.
Yep.
Why it's not nesting? I open AI
Probably.
broker .cs.completion. Oh, it's because it's a library. You know, when you're not when you're doing it in a library, not doing it in an ASP.NET project, it does that. It does
Yeah.
that weird stuff.
So to fix
Okay.
that, I just change it to the web settings instead of default.
Oh, nice. I did not know that. Well, here you go. Brian Parker strikes again. Do you know how much this has been bothering me, dude,
Yeah,
for years? Is this a
it's
new
been
thing?
bothers me. Yeah, it's new. It bothers me too.
Oh my God, Kyla, are you watching this? This is crazy. We've been struggling with this sucker for years. Okay, cool. Let's scope this out, and I'm surprised it's not giving you a warning though. Why is that? It should be partial, right?
Hmm.
So I open AI broker. I must have either no, no, no. You're actually in the right place. The other one will be giving you an error. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, so I should be putting partial on that.
Mm-hmm.
No, that was mine. There's yours.
Why did it not give you an error though? That's weird. Is it because you said it's internal, so it treated it independently? Is that what it is?
Ah, you've got an I, lowercase I. I don't.
Aha. You should make it I uppercase, by the way.
It should be I.
I
Type it
uppercase, yes. So
there. Yeah.
now, okay, yeah, see? Now it's much better.
So this has to be like this as well.
Yes. Now I'm happy. Now you know that we actually do care about these things. It's very important. Okay, and if we do, and if we miss it, you know, have you seen the code drops that have been coming through the
Yes.
repository? People have been going back and doing things. I really appreciate that, especially Gregory Hayes, and these folks. They're helping out
Hmm.
a lot. Okay, so what does that interface is supposed to look like? We know that it's a value task because we're going to be awaiting, you know, an API call. We know that, and then we also know that we need a completion response and a completion request.
Yes, I have not mapped a completion response.
That's all right. We're going to do it right now. We're going to have fun together.
Is that right? I spelled that
Response
wrong.
with an S, unless this is like a Australian.
No, no, no. It's just me.
I'm just, I know, I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry, Brian. I have to give you cheeky comments too. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we're having
It's all
fun.
it's par for the course. Yes.
Okay, what do we want to call it? We want to call it prompt async. What do you want to call it? It has to have, oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. Let's call it get completion async because we can't name it something that is business. Business is the prompt. That's at the
Hmm.
foundation service layer. But in this case here, you're just talking primitive language. Get, post, put, delete, all of that. Yeah, get completion async is good. And then
Now,
put the completion request there. That should do the trick for us.
now, what are we on size wise? We're 101. That's fine.
Perfect. How big is it? 120, 101.
Um, yeah, 101. It's fine.
Let's do it. So we need models. So let's create a models folder. And then under models, we're going to do external completions. So we can refer to the models that we will never show to the external customer, no matter what. It's never going to happen.
And what are we going to call it?
Completion response and completion
Yeah.
request. So that's one. We're gonna have to configure this thing not to create. Oh, well, you have it this way intentionally, so I'm just gonna let you.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
talking
fix
about
them.
the namespace. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. Let's see.
I'll just fix those namespaces for you.
Thank you, sir. So, Brian, a couple of people reached out about the first couple of sessions. You know, they said we've
Hmm.
never actually seen a project gets built from scratch before. These are folks that have been around for a long time, and they're like, I always jumped in on an existing project, right? So I never saw how you actually structure a project from scratch. So there's a great advantage there, and I'm really happy with
Yeah,
this.
getting this fundamental stuff right really makes a big change in how you develop. So,
Okay. Do you want to try with well, you went for the full model, right? Yeah, just try your model. I'm not gonna interrupt here. I'm just gonna watch you. I'm just gonna keep things going, looking at the Yasser Tite says typo, the completion interface is having a response body in interface. Oh, where is that?
uh,
The completion interface is having a response
oh,
body.
yeah, I understand exactly what he means.
What is he talking about? Oh yeah,
But,
that's right.
yeah.
Thank you. You know what, Yasser? Unfortunately, this is allowed in C Sharp today. Unfortunately.
Mm.
You are actually allowed to write, like, Brian, try to type in a void foo, open
Yeah,
close.
you
Yeah,
can
you
put
can.
static methods in them and everything.
But of
Yeah.
course, that's not the way we do it. So
Oh.
thanks. Good catch. Absolutely good catch. Thank you. Elbic, don't fall asleep. You're looking at the code or no?
I'm here. I'm
I,
here.
how did you let that slide by? Oh my God. Come on, man.
I was actually looking at the response model.
Oh, the
So
model.
how,
Yeah.
yeah, what it can contain. So are we using OpenAPI library that it's providing, or are we talking straight to the API?
This is the library that's gonna be
All right,
used for people who wants to talk to the API, the RESTful
all
API.
right, all right.
Forgive him. It's his first time on this, session. He's fine. He'll survive. Kailu, you're still in there? It's a little bit late for me and Kailu. It's after 10 o'clock, so it's
Okay. We've got nullables turned off, so I'm gonna have to get rid of all these nullables.
Yep. Are they actually nullable in the body?
Yes.
Well, I'm not fully opposed to it. Um, it's okay. Put them back and just take that model over. Move that model over. I think you already did. Yeah. Cool.
Where do I? Did I miss one? Yeah.
YouTube told me that I can make people super give people super thank you, but we'll see.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to remove these?
For now, please, Brian,
Yeah. Yeah.
get rid of them
I
for
just
now.
wanted the team to be aware of that
Hmm.
situation. Yep. That's
That's one massive model right there. Oh my God.
yeah, and it's yeah, everything's optional. Everything. The only thing that's not really optional is what they call the model at the top.
I bet you this, Brian, I bet you like behind the scene, this is all sitting on top of non-relational database.
Hmm.
When you find everything is optional like that, it's very likely.
I also wanted to talk to the team about model. Should model be a enum?
It should be an enum, but they're not gonna let you do that. So we're gonna end up making it a struct. A struct with bunch of options.
Hmm.
But wait, are you talking about the end model? Yeah, the end
No,
model
no,
is
no,
gonna.
no. The model is the model you're using to do
Oh,
the
this one
AI,
here?
whether you're using DaVinci. Yeah, I can't think of all the different names, but they had
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
different.
There's DaVinci, there's Curie, right? Elbic. What
Yeah.
are the other models are in there? There's a whole bunch of them. You know,
Babbage.
Babbage. Do you guys know who Babbage is? Babbage is Ada Lovelace's teacher. You know how there's Ada.
Yeah.
She's the person that came out with the first programming language. Her teacher was actually Babbage. I think his name was Richard or something like that. Someone could look it up and fact check me on that.
Mm, mm,
Mhm.
It was a British guy. So Wardy's not here, so he doesn't get to
yeah.
brag about it. All right. Okay, Parker. Do you have a model for the response?
I don't.
Let's do it.
So we need to look at the OpenAI docs. Have you got a link? Can you drop a link to that doc?
Absolutely, you bet. Here's the link, and I'm just gonna drop it in even in the public chat so everybody else can look at it. I only have like 20 million open things. Just give me a second.
It's
Elbic,
in the
if you have,
private chat. Yeah,
oh,
I sent it in the
oh,
private
you already
chat.
sent it? Okay, so Elbic just sent it in a private chat. Right.
Okay, need the. So whereabouts is the model? Text completion. I forget where the models are, guys. I found them. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Thank you. Thank you, Elbic. And for people who just gonna want to follow up with us, I'm gonna copy Elbic's um, uh, link here. I'm gonna put it right here so just people see it. Okay, so where's that response at?
Don't know, my friend. I'm just looking.
Yeah.
So if you scroll all the way up, you're gonna find it in the. I know that there's the documentation and then there's the other thing. Click on the completions part. Completions.
Yep.
hmm And then if you scroll down just a tiny bit on the right side, this here is the request. That's your response right there. Copy that guy.
Which guy?
This guy right here.
Yep. This guy.
Yep, copy that guy. Oh, just click copy on top.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to do that Jason thing, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was actually thinking about it.
Watch the magic, If everyone fasten your seatbelt, some real magic is about to be dropped by Mr. Parker. Woo! Look at that. I don't know what it did. Did it do everything? I don't know what it did. It created a
we
whole
got
bunch of them.
we got a root object, which I believe would be
Oh, are
the
you
response.
kidding me? It even created the submodels too?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my lord, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Unfortunately, the names are really whack,
Yep.
but I guess they're leaving it in there so you can do that JSON property stuff and all that. That's fantastic. I love it.
Just
Oh,
going to
you
get.
guys are all set up on getting this done, huh? Is that what it is? Okay. Concerning.
There is this JSON property name,
Mm,
and there's JSON property, which comes from Newtonsoft JSON.
mm.
I was actually trying to do some integrations as well these days, and JSON property did actually do the job for me because at first I tried with JSON property name, it didn't serialize or deserialize. Then I switched to JSON property itself. Then it worked fine for me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, JSON property is what I use usually.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but you
so
guys use Newtonsoft. I'm not using Newtonsoft here.
oh yeah, okay. Does it work? Do you trust
No.
it?
I have not had an issue with it, but you guys have had more experience.
Okay, so Brian, do you want to do some magic, changing all of it at once, or do you want to give it to me and I can do that magic? It's up to you.
Oh, you know what I haven't done?
You haven't done a branch. Let's go. Brian L. Parker.
Do it.
Brokers, completions, get. So you have category, entity, and then action.
So leave it at that. Yep.
Yep, that's it. That's the one. Send that over to me. I will do a little bit of magic for you. Yasser is like, oh my God, did he just paste the entire C# model? Yes, sir. We love this stuff. We love what we're doing. It's great.
So I'll just push that. Yep.
Yeah, just push it out there. Yep. I mean, you need to leave you need to commit first, Brian. So put a
Well, that would
commit message.
help.
Yeah, that's kind of important. So just type in there brokers sorry, just type in there data, all uppercase data, and then type in there completion response request. Put a semicolon after data. Sorry, a colon after data. Yep. Yep, send it over to me. Do you guys want to see a nice magic trick? We're all about magic tricks in this town.
Yeah, I want to see how you can quickly rename all the properties to what
Oh
matches.
yeah. Oh yeah, welcome to my world. I'm a world full of tricks. Okay, is it out there, Ryan?
Yeah, I believe so. I've lost my
You
window
lost
with
your
you guys.
screen. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can see it.
Nope,
You
it's
can.
not there. Oh, I need the branch though. Let's see completions. There you are. Sync. I can see his screen though. I can see Brian's screen even though he's not sharing it. It's power. What up, Chaudhry? Welcome back. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Is it in the completion request? Okay. Sorry, in the response, right? Watch this. So you just find the common denominator between all of them. What do you have in here? You have this get guy, right? So if I do Alt Shift period like that, it will pick up all of them, right? So I got all of them picked up. And then I'm just gonna go like this, right? I'll take a step, Control Shift left. I copied all of them, right? And then I'm gonna go up here, just one step up, right? So I'm gonna go here, all the way back here. I'm gonna take a new line. I'm gonna go up by one. It's gonna be screwed up in some of them, but that's okay. JSON property, right? I forgot something though. Hold on. Let's see if I can pick it up. Let's see. Hold on. Let me pick up all of these. Now I'm just showing off, right? So I'm really just showing off. So here we go. Here, I'm doing this like this. I'm doing this. And then I'm closing this like this. How about that?
That's
I
crazy.
mean, I'm pretty sure I ruined a couple, but I'm gonna stop right there. I'm just gonna give it back to you because this is your day. So data, mission request, magic. There you go. You guys up early, late. Oh, Etienne. Etienne is from South Africa. He's amazing. He's the guy that's bringing the standardization to gaming. Okay, Parker, pull latest. So it's not perfect.
You know what we did wrong?
What?
We used JSON property instead of JSON property name. Which are we going with? We're going to bring in the Newtonsoft library.
So no, hang on. All you gotta do is just do Alt Shift on JSON property. Select JSON property.
Yep.
Do Control Shift right. Yep, and then just do Alt Shift period. Full stop. What do you call it in Australia? I don't know. We say
Period, full
period.
stop. It all works
Yep.
for me.
Yep.
Yep.
Select all of them.
It
Keep
grabbed.
going. Alt Shift period. Keep going. Don't lift your hand off. Yep. Keep going.
Oh, I see.
And then you know the trick, right? So take one step right.
Right.
Yep. Just click right. The right arrow, and just type
Yep.
name in there.
Oh yeah.
Problem
There we go.
solved. There you go.
Nice.
What do you think about that, Parker? Now, here's a challenge for you. Can you actually, this is just for, now we're just showing off. Is there a way, after you fix this one, you can make every property that's underneath that the same name, but the first letter is uppercase? I know. How do we do that? En masse.
I remember you were showing these in
Oh,
your
you need
tips and
empty
tricks
line.
videos.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we should do that as a batch thing as well.
Yeah, try it. So let me show you how. Go to Git, select Git with the open squiggly together.
Yep.
Like select them both. Yeah, and then do the Alt Shift period. Select all of them.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I think there's a shortcut that selects all the similar ones. This is just the one that comes to mind right now. But okay, so select all of them. Are you on all of them?
Nope.
Yep, select
Alt
all of them.
Shift dot. Yep.
Perfect. Let's go all the way back to the top. And then do this. Control Shift Left. And then again. Oh, too much. Go back. Control Shift Right. Go back, back. Control Shift. Yep. Stay right there at the first letter of the next word. So Control Shift Left.
Yep.
One more.
There.
Yeah, and then just do Shift and then one click to the right. One
Yeah.
click. And then do Control Shift U. Ha! Done. Of
Nice.
course, it doesn't work for everybody because you have underscore and crazy stuff, but still a lot
Oop.
less. Oh, be careful. You're still selecting everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
You
noticed
have to
that.
do shift. You have to do shift to get out of that.
Oh, Alt Shift to get out of that.
Yeah.
Escape.
Escape. How about that?
Nice.
So the ones that say prompt tokens and whatnot with underscore, we're gonna need to get rid of them. But that's also easy to take care of.
Yeah.
See,
Could it?
these are the little things that kind of makes you happy about your craft, but also at the same time, it's actually saving money and time. And more importantly, the people that are hanging out with you be like, oh, wow, that's entertainment. That's definitely entertainment right there. The one last thing, Brian, is that we want to make sure there is a new line between every block. So when you have JSON name and the ID, put a new line there. There's an easy way to do this. If I can only think of one. I think you can just select the closing squiggly because there's no other closing squiggly anywhere else except for this one.
True.
Yeah, it's up to you. Here we go. Clickety
Something like that.
click.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now let's just go over the names again. So you have object, you have ID, that's fine. I think this object is gonna be something, significant. It's not really gonna be just object. But let's keep going. You have choices, you have usage. This is all good. Completion tokens, total tokens. Okay, that's totally fine. Let's keep going. Index. Oh, this log props. This should be log probabilities, I think. Or is it properties? What is props? Elbic, jump into the documentation. See what it says. This guy's asleep. What time is it over there? Alt shift period. I love it.
It's 11 afternoon. I was actually writing to you.
It's 11 in the afternoon. You lucky. Dude, so you're basically 11 hours.
Yeah. Isn't it daylight saving hours is, in the United States right now? So it should be 12 hours, I guess. No?
It's about, just about. For us here, it's 11 p.m.
Yeah,
So,
it's 11 a.m. for me.
5 p.m.
wow.
here.
We're all over the place. All over the place.
I'm guessing at probability, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
is it probabilities? Is probabilities even a word? I don't think probabilities is a word. I think probability, something like that.
Yeah.
Elbic, I don't know how to give you admin access. Maybe after the session.
All right.
The wizard.
Okay, are we happy with that? Has someone checked that?
I love it. And in South Africa, it's 8 a.m. So check this out. We have people from every continent. We have Asia, Australia. We have the US. Well, not every continent, but at least 3, 4 continents. It's cool.
Do you want these out in separate files?
Yes, yes, please. Oh, can you do that just by? Are you serious, bro? I did not know you could do that. No, Brian, how did you do that? Does it add the copyrights and it? Oh no, no. You know what we should call this session? The wizardry, the black magic, the sorcery session. Oh
We all
my
know our little
lord.
we all know our little tricks. We just got to put them all together.
Yep. So Hayes Gregory, he says it's log problems, not log probabilities. Elbic, please check this out. We don't want to give people bad information. I think
Yeah.
Gregory's right. Okay, Parker, I think you have just one extra empty line at the very bottom of one of these models, and everything else is fine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look where was log probabilities? Which
Was
one
it
was
in
it?
completion response?
Yeah, it's log probability.
Yeah, take line 28. What is it? What is it, Elbic?
Log
Probabilities?
probabilities, yes.
Ah, probabilities. Okay, let's do it probabilities then.
That's what I did, isn't it? Yep.
Yep, yes you did. Okay, friends, moment of truth. We're gonna need to test this thing to see if it actually works. But first of all, we need, excuse me, we need the implementation of, we need to actually implement the broker. Now we build the models, we need the broker to actually work. So let's see how that one goes. Hey, Brian.
Yep.
I think you're doing amazing, by the way, just letting you know.
These live streams get me a bit jittery. It shouldn't. I know it shouldn't, but it does.
Okay, let's get going. Yeah, it's such a shame that I can't just, man, next session. I'd love to have you moderate this session, dude. I don't want to, but guests, no idea. Yeah, I hate keep clicking in and out, but what am I gonna do, right? So why is this guy freaking out? Because, oh, not all code return a value. So we want this to be public async, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Brian, I have a question for you. Why the value task in your world has a same color as the model? Usually it's a kind of yellowed out struct. I know that I saw this somewhere. I don't know why it's doing that with you. Just FYI, something I'm pointing out. Could save you some time investigating later, but just letting you know. Usually it has a different color. Unless you change the schema color or something like that. I don't know. Whatever you did there.
Yeah, I was experimenting with the new colors that are in the latest Visual Studio preview. Maybe I did something. So where do we go here?
Oh, all you gotta do, it's the simplest thing in the world. Just do await, do fat arrow. Thanks to this crazy library, we're able to do. So
Yeah, right.
fat arrow, await, and then get async. Yep, keep going. And then it has, I think the last time I did this, is it a get or a post? It's a
It was a
post, isn't it?
post. Yeah,
It's a post,
post.
brother.
Post.
Yeah.
So post, I knew because you're supposed to have the option for having two types. So
Yeah,
you're
I'm just gonna
passing in the request and you're getting back the response for this.
just excuse me for a second. Just checking what I did
Yep,
here
yep.
in a previous library. Yeah, I didn't use yours, but
I'm not offended.
no. I just want to work it. Sure, you're not. Sure. The relative URI for this would be.
Yep. That's the here comes the good part. Uh-huh.
Have you set it up with a base? I forget.
Yeah, so we did already set up the base. So all you have to do is the base will be passed in
Yep.
as a parameter, you know. But I think in your post async you need to have a comma and put the other type as well.
Yeah. I hadn't finished. Yeah.
We're gonna have to change the method name as well. But no, a comma at the generic type. So whatever you say relative URL before that, make a comma. All the way back
Yeah.
at the open parentheses. Go inside that. No. Go inside that angle bracket.
I did.
Yeah. No, inside that. Yeah, do a comma after this one.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Yeah, this is a. Yeah, I get
You're
you.
fine. That's why we're pairing. It's fun. So one of them is going to be request and the other is going to be response. The first one is going to be request and the second is
Yep.
going to be response.
You know, as I said, I was actually returning dynamic and then sending response and then matching that dynamic to my actual object in the other project. So I didn't know that you can extend it to return different model and get a different model as a request. That's a new thing.
Have I got them back to front, Hassan?
Your what? It's going back to erroring? Why is it? Because the request, is it supposed to be the other way around?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
No, the first one is request, brother. You have response. It should be completion request.
There, that's why.
Request result.
We're good.
Yes.
Don't like this widescreen.
Wardy just woke up. He was like, "Hey guys, is this still going?" I'm like, "Yeah, come." I don't think the chat can take any more people, but maybe it can. We'll see.
Okay, my friend, where are we at? Do you want to take this, or do you want me to try and? I don't
No,
have any of the keys.
no, just put that fat arrow right next to the method name at the top, and then only one tap under the await, and that's it. So zoom back out. We're gonna need to take that fat arrow, put it right next to that. Yeah, exactly. And then that await. How long are we now? Are you over 122? 120?
We're 122 exactly.
Yeah, take the tab back. It should be one tap. You have multiple taps in there.
118. We're good.
Okay. Now change that method name. Instead of get completion async, it will be post completion async.
True.
Post completion request async.
Gee, that's the same name as I used.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. If you do control period, it will rename it in the interface for you. Yep, go for it. Let's go to the interface, just double check. I was wrong. Usually it does. I don't know what happened there.
It said it was going to.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's not referenced.
I think he ran to I think Wardy ran to get some coffee or something. I don't know what time is it in England. Let's see. Time. He's usually very chatty around this time, so I'm assuming it's really early morning. Yeah, it's 6 in the morning for him. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Why aren't I seeing the symbols here to say that it's implemented?
Did we inherit from that interface? If you go to OpenAI broker root, the root file.
Yeah. We did not.
That's kind of important. I missed that in the last session. And nobody reminded me. Nobody. So, okay. Good catch, by the way, Brian. All these little hints, it tells you, right? You know, there you go. That little eye up there. Yeah,
Mm.
I think we stole that from Ryder IntelliJ. Okay, sir, give me that guy back. So all you gotta do is just click the yep, and then just say brokers, and then just post completion async implementation. Don't forget the colon. Hey, Elam, is lab.
Ah,
You know what this means? It's an Uzbek actual sentence, seeking knowledge.
Yeah, Elam is ilm
Yeah.
in Arabic. It means
Yes.
knowledge. Yeah, I
Yes.
know. Islab is not my language. I don't know what people are saying. Thank you, sir. Moment of truth. Let's test this thing. What do you guys think? Should we test it? Let's do it. Let's test this thing. If this thing works, we all go home. Everyone goes to sleep. We're done for the day. Let's do this. So async, and that's the beauty of this. We're kind of every component that we're building, we're giving it a little bit of testing. Sometimes it's going to be unit testing. Sometimes we're just, kind of doing a quick integration test to see if it's doing what it's supposed to. Okay. I just need a dummy thing to put in there just to try things out. But let me just take a quick look at the broker. Why is this guy freaking out? Let's do a rebuild here real quick. If it errors out, then maybe we're missing something. Yeah, it is. No, we're good. This is just being silly. Okay, so in here, let me do it like Brian. What did you do, Brian? Did you do standard settings web?
yeah.
Nice. My man, my man. Okay, so this is post completion request async, and you're putting a completion request, and you're saying v completions, and in the URL itself, we should be, when we're setting up the HTTP client, we're picking up the API URL. So we're doing the right thing.
Mhm.
Okay, let's go wild. Let's do this. I'm just gonna pick up any one of these test projects, even the delete me one time yet to test this in a test-driven fashion, but I'm just testing things. Let's do this. So here's a fact. Public async task should do stuff and delete me too. Okay, and here is a var. We need the model, which is API configuration. New API configuration.
Oh,
No.
you know what we haven't done? We haven't
What?
done the sharing, the assembly sharing.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, let's okay, take so let me do this. I know I was talking just for the people watching. I was talking to someone about this the other day, and he said you can actually do it even here in the settings. Did you know that? How crazy is that? I just don't remember how. Let's do it says expose assembly to something like that, or what was the word for it? What was the word for it, Brian? Do you remember? The
No.
friends, the C sharp friends.
Oh,
Um,
do you mean the what? I don't know how to do it here. I only know how to do it in the C sharp code.
no, I know, but that's the beauty about all of this is that I can just go into, let me show you.
Yeah.
So just for the people watching, Brian created a lot of internal models. And in order for us to access these internal models, because it's testing, you want to expose it to one binary but not the other. So a while back, really a very, very short while ago, I had this, video that talks about that. And some dude in the comments here said, hey, there's even a better way you can do this. And that's the beauty about this. I'm really grateful for the people that kind of go and do their due diligence there. He left a comment in here. You want to see my documentation? That's my documentation. He said, oh, I can't. I can't see. I actually fiddling with architecture, making everything blah. Models. Oh, did he delete his comment or something? There was a little way here. Let's see here. Newest first. There is an assembly piece in here that you can use. Oh, there he is. It's actually Fikri, and I know that he's here in the channel with us. Anyway, wherever
Yeah.
you are, and Rami also just shared it. Thank you, Rami. That's exactly it. So assembly attribute. Oh, he put in the code. No. This is well. There's even an easier way to do this, Rami. So I'm
Hmm.
going to show you the um. Yep. The Sergio, the code one is this, but I want to do it in the project itself, like in the configuration of the project, so I don't have to do it on every single one of these files. So there's this little piece in here. What do you think about that? Rami, this one is simpler, I think. Right? And then I can go here and say OpenAI. The only part that I miss in here is that it doesn't give me the autocomplete stuff. Test.unit. Elm Islab, will you put this project to a Git file? What do you think? Answer him in Uzbek. Answer him in Uzbek. Tell him. Tell this guy.
Yes, brother. Of course.
Wow, that doesn't sound like Uzbek to me. So, so watch this. Now I have access to this little API configurations in a different assembly, even though it's defined as internal. Why do you need that? Because if you're gonna give people the access to your library, you don't want to give them these models to play around with. You don't want to give them your brokers. You don't want to give them your services. You just want to give them the exposure layer, which is a great find. A great find. Okay. Okay. So what do we need here? I need an API key, and I need an organization ID.
Yeah, that's optional, but yes.
The organization, but I just want to test it, right? And also want an API URL. And that's the base API URL. Where do we get that stuff from? Let's go up in here and let's get the information. OpenAI API reference. This guy right here, all the way up to here, that's our base URL. So we have that in here. Let's take that guy and put it here. Oh, look at the magic. Great. And I'll add this API key in a second. I need to generate one just for the group, and then we're gonna delete it right after this session. What do you think? It's probably a good
Mhm.
idea, right? I have a $25 limit anyway, so go crazy, right? And then so I want to do open oh my God, Brian. How does it know that this is where I'm gonna go? Do you know how it knows? Because I initiated this, so it can easily predict probably that the next thing I want to do is to utilize this, and the only input place that I would use this for is the API. That's a lot of thinking. That's a whole lot of thinking, man, you know.
Mm.
Okay, now we need to create the request, right? So this is, oh my God. All right, everyone, have a good day. That wraps it up. So I don't know, man. This is crazy. Let's do this. Let's see what's missing here. So the prompt,
Hey, it didn't use my model. It used what it thought the
it,
model should
it's
be.
it
No,
stole it stole someone else's model. That's what it did. Hush, hush. You know.
yeah,
So human, hello, and then AI.
it's agreeing with that other person about top
Yeah,
P.
yeah, but it's stealing. It's stealing some. What did you call it? What did you call probability
top,
mass?
top probability. Yeah. No, N. Yes, you're right. Yep.
It just stole someone else's. So stupid. I can't, man. This is too much for me. Okay, and then what we're gonna want to do is that OpenAI broker dot post request async with the completion request. This is a moment of truth. Here's a response, really quick and dirty, don't really care, and still breaking my heart. Fine, completion response. It's just my brain, man, is not wired to cut corners. I can't do it anymore. I'm not wired
Wait.
this way.
Yeah.
I'm just not wired this way. And then I'm just gonna assert here that not null, that this response is not null, and just should be named properly. Completion response. I mean, we're not writing code anymore. I mean, autocomplete, the IntelliSense, the whole thing is going on for us here. Okay, if this works, I'm gonna be very, very happy, like extremely happy. Let's generate a new key here. I bet you guys thought I want to give you the key, huh? Nice try. So, how's the weather? Let's see, OpenAI. I'm just trying to get the key real quick. Just give me a second. Was it playground? Just for the people who are watching, this is where we get these keys from. If you go into your profile, you go to platform.openai.com like this, and then you go onto your profile, go view API keys, and you can generate a bunch of keys, right? Where do you get your organization name from? If you go, I think, to manage account. No, not manage account. It's in the settings. That's your organization ID right there, right? And that's okay. That can be public. It doesn't matter, right? So let's go back here and let's get a key. Second there. Here's a key, temporary key. Let me slap that key in there. I'm not even going to add the organization ID, Brian. I'm just going to try with and without just to see if things are working the way we expect them to. Okay, moment of truth. Are we ready for this? Let's see. We probably need a breakpoint, right? For this one. Yeah, let's do a breakpoint for this one. Oh, you won't be able to see the rest of the key, so it's going to be great. I like that. So let's do this in here. And then we're going to do a debug. Let's see.
I'm sure I can brute force the rest of it for a whole $25.
Go for it. Ah, we have a failure. Let's see what happened now. It's basically saying, RESTful Sense is saying, HTTP response bad request. You must provide a model parameter. Ah, we didn't add the model, my friend. So model, what is it? DaVinci. Is it DaVinci V3 text? Something like that? Is that the one?
I'm just
Help me out
checking what
here.
I'm just looking to see what I sent on my. Yeah, I use text dash DaVinci dash
Yes.
003.
Yes.
Oh,
Dash 003 like this. DaVinci.
Yes.
So just for the people who are using, never heard of RESTful Sense, look, it's giving me a meaningful exception with all the details in it. All of this within that exception. That's how beautiful this is. You don't have to go look for code and examine its 404, 403, none of that nonsense. None of that. Okay? Let's run this again. Here we go. One more round. Let's do it, Brian. Is that it? He jumps. He dunks. Aw, we have another error. You must provide a model parameter. We still have a problem. Why is that? Let's see.
did I map it to the wrong name or something silly?
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, right? The only thing I can think of right now is that this is not mapped out right, and that this is why it's doing that. Although that I see model in here.
And that's what I was telling you about. It's I think it's not doing its job of deserializing or serializing.
That's
I
why
don't
we use
know.
JSON property.
Yeah.
That's why that's what happened with me before, Brian. It didn't give me the right stuff, bro. So I don't know. Did it work with you,
It worked
Brian?
with me. That's exactly what. Yeah, I use JSON property name. Yep.
I'll try this and we'll see.
Yeah, let's try.
I'll try this and we'll see. That's the
So
beauty of testing our stuff. You know, you get to see it's actually working or not. Here we go. Because I remember in the past we went that route and it just didn't go through.
that's
So
interesting. I got my code up on the screen of the POC that I wrote a while back.
what did you use for the API call though? What library did you use for the API call?
I just did it with I think I built my own client. Let me just.
Maybe I'm writing DaVinci wrong, you guys. Is it text dash? Is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's same.
Yeah, it's
Oh
the
no.
same thing. Is it?
Yeah, it's the same, but
Well, let's see. It's definitely missing the model. We know what it is. Nope. Any ideas? Suggestions? Is there application JSON content type added to their? Yeah, it's added automatically, Rami, to this one, unless you specify otherwise. So by default, just to kind of clarify, if you look at the completion here, you can actually add another parameter in here. And this parameter is like the content, was it the, no, not this one. On this main guy here, on the post itself, if I do another comma in here, it'll tell you by default it's text JSON. Oh, did you say application JSON? Why did you say application JSON? Did you mean application JSON or text JSON, Rami?
It's meant to be application JSON.
yeah.
Does that matter?
Yes.
Let's try application slash JSON. But also in the, he said also in the bearer, yeah, you have the authentication. Okay, so it's application JSON. Okay, maybe that's it. Let's try. And then if that's not the case, I don't think it's an authorization issue though, because it's already, Rami, it's because it's already giving me the right response. It's already telling me, hey, you're authorized. You have a problem. Oh, there you go. We could not parse the JSON body. That was it. Application JSON, by the way. Thanks. Another, this guy's a problem. This guy just catches things, you know. Um, now the new error is bad request. We could not parse the JSON body of your request. Hint, this likely means that you aren't using your HTTP library correctly. The OpenAI API expects a JSON payload, but what was sent was not valid JSON. Was not valid JSON. So our JSON is whack. Why is that?
What's the encoding in the what you sent? You'll see in the SteamYard chat is the how I built the request.
Where in the StreamYard?
Yep.
Where?
In the
Oh, in
private
the chat?
Yeah.
Is the application slash the content type added in the request header? Yes. Authorization, yeah, that's fine. I'm reading on Stack Overflow. Yeah, that's what I was reading. Right? Now, the real question here is, we could not parse the JSON body of your request. Is that because we added this application JSON in here? Is that why? Let's see. Let's take this out. Because we were getting better answers earlier. So if our JSON is broken, you know, it would have said something. But now, like I'm looking at this, it's not complaining about that. It's complaining about that the model is not provided. Right? So the other thing that I can think of, and maybe this is it, I don't know, is to basically go and say, okay, this model is like this. I'm gonna intentionally, just for the kicks of it, I'm just gonna go and say model like that. Just to see if this is actually the problem. And let's see what happens. You must provide a model parameter. It's not seeing your model. Why is that? Any ideas? Thoughts? Let me go.
Maybe other properties are parsed strongly,
No,
probably.
no. Let's
I
find
think
out. Tell me, API. I'm
what
listening.
what if what if we just send the required property and then test if it works or not?
Only just the required parameters. Oh yeah. So I see the model in here.
Yeah.
Fix DaVinci 003, right? So this is okay unless it's the prompt. And how come the prompt in here is just a string, but in their definition they're saying it's an array? What's up with that? But it's not complaining about the prompt, it's complaining about the model itself,
Yeah.
right? So I could take away most of these, just leave them as is, because I don't think, like, most of these things are optional. Almost all of these are optional, right? But there is something about the model that we're missing. That's, at least that's the error message. Unless this error message is completely misleading. You know, this, it could be a red herring too, right? It could also be a red herring. So let's see here. I'm gonna take away all of these. I'm even gonna take the prompt, man. I'm just gonna try and just run again. Since all of them are almost optional. What we know for certain is that we're communicating successfully. It's just that the model is not right. Yeah, you must provide a model parameter. Does this model parameter, why are they calling it parameter? Is it not supposed to be in the request body? Why are they calling it a parameter?
Oh yeah.
Are
Oh
you
no,
serious?
I'm sorry. No. I was looking at the curl and I saw in the D/D it says model. And I think /D is a body, right?
Yeah, so let me do this. I'm gonna hit Postman with the exact same request that we just made
Uh-huh.
and see what happens. If it works, then definitely something in our implementation that's whack. If it doesn't, then it's something else. What do you think about that? So let me clean up, close all other tabs, close this. Let's go to Postman and see if that works. Let's go here. So this is OpenAI, and then there is V1, I think, and then completion, right? So this is, here we go, and then V1, and then completion. V1. Keep me honest with this one, please, Brian, if that's the one. And then, yeah, is that the right URL?
Yep.
Cool. Now I'm gonna steal a body from here. So I'm gonna take that body that they have. I'm gonna throw that body right here. Cool. And then I'm gonna go on to,
I think you have to put an S on completions. It's V1 completions. Yep.
Yes.
what?
An
Completions?
S. Yeah.
Good.
Plural.
Good. So they built their API right. That makes me very proud. That's really good. And then on the authorization side, let me throw the token in here. That's a big token. There you go. And then this is a post. And then let's see. Your authentication token is not from a valid issuer. What? Bearer authorization.
Or is this
What am,
SK?
oh, I have two things in here. Okay, hold on. I have a mess going on here. Yeah, there you go. So I don't need this. I have two of them. I got 200. Okay. So this one is working. So something is certainly broken in our API call. Check this out. The prompt says the prompt is not an array, but let me just try it for all intents and purposes. Let's say it's actually an array like this. Hello. Would this guy freak out? Nope. It would work just fine. Look, that's totally working fine. So something about our model.
What happens if it's a one of array? Like it's only got one element. Is it that's what's upset?
Well, I tried one element, right? So let me do this. Hold on. If I go into the completion response, just for kicks, I'm gonna do all of this. I'm just gonna change all of this to what's happening? JSON property. So now this is all JSON property like that. And then I'm gonna do the same here. So I'm just gonna do this JSON property. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I know we could try it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we try things. And
I know this is not the root cause because I've used the what you're removing. So
Brian, did you use it with RESTful Sense though, or did you just
no,
call? Okay,
no.
okay. So that's the trick. Okay, so let's do this. Completion response, usage, and choice. Okay, all of this is good. Now I just need to test this one more time and see what happens. And by the way, we need to figure out a way to allow this property to allow arrays and single elements. There is params in C# that we can use to do this trick, but we'll get back to this one in a second. Let me try now. Come on, you sucker. Still no. HTTP validation, you must provide a model parameter. And the body that I posted has prompt, it has max tokens, it has temperature, it has top, the probabilities mass, frequency penalty. I'll just take these.
How about the number of responses? It should default to 1 in here.
What did you call it?
Completions per prompt.
1.
Yeah.
And then stream false.
No. Yep.
Right. And what is this probability mass? Is that log probs? They lift at null. I won't fill it. I'll just pretend that I'm dumb. Right. And then let's try this again. It's definitely something in our serialization. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No. Still a no. And that is this is you must provide a model parameter. So I know we're calling the right thing because we have this in here. We have the OpenAI broker, we have the completions. Do you know what I can do? I can literally just go and pull in look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and pull in RESTful Sense and debug this thing internally, like inside the
Mm-hmm.
where is RESTful Sense at? I think it's in my D drive repos. If RESTful Sense is the problem, then we figured out a thing that we can improve in there. Where's RESTful Sense at? Just give me a sec. Users, Hassan, source, repos, and then we should have RESTful Sense. No, RESTful Sense is not in this repository. It could be in the, yeah, I found it. Okay, cool. And RESTful Sense, we're using the actual library, so I'm gonna pull this in. So now I can debug this in real time. So I'm gonna remove RESTful Sense as a dependency from my packages in here. And I'm gonna pull in the one that is in the project, add project reference, and here's RESTful Sense. We will find out exactly what's going on in a second. And then inside the It's not the controllers, is it? It's a clients. And then we're using RESTful says client factory. And then inside this little guy, which is the post content. Where is it? Post content async. Here's one, and then here's one that has the response. Post content async. That's the one that we're using right now. And then, you know what I think is happening? I think the you did put the content first, right? Content and then result later, right? I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would have complained about the parameter of the method, wouldn't it?
So this is the request and this is the result, right? And inside the completion, we have this is the request and here's the response. So these two are good. Okay, great. Now let's put a breakpoint on this sucker and see what's happening. I'm gonna put a breakpoint right here on this guy. The thing is, it doesn't serialize even here. Where does this convert to HTTP content? I think it's the serialization happens actually over here. So this is convert to JSON string content. And we are gonna stop right here, my dear friends. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if we can make this thing work. Okay, so here's a breakpoint. And then jumping on to the next one. Now here's our request, my dear friends. Come on, come on. Aw, did I skip? Hold on. Sorry about that. Let's do that again. Almost there. It's like you know, debugging is like investigating a crime where you are the criminal.
True. Very true.
You you're like
You
like
caused the chaos.
you're going around, you're going around and you're saying, who did this? Who's this? And then you find out it's you. JSON beautifier. Let's just see what kind of request are we sending. It's probably terrible.
You
So
know
here's
it's
what
going to
we're
be.
sending.
You know it's going to be a facepalm method result. You know.
Oh yeah, of course. It's always that's always the case. So this is the model. This is the prompt. Suffix, tokens, and then all of that. So I'm gonna take that guy. I'm gonna go to Postman. See, now we're investigating. Now we're doing. I bet you there is I bet you there is a default value for a parameter that we're passing in that this guy is not happy with. So this is what we're passing.
Mm-hmm.
Clickety click.
None is not.
None is not a type of object. What? What is this none coming from?
Logit bias, maybe? It says logit bias there
Mhm.
too.
Is it okay? So I'm gonna take that out just for now. I'm just investigating.
No
None.
user.
Okay, here we go. We're getting closer.
So it's the defaults.
So I'm taking out the defaults.
Mm.
Yeah, it is the defaults, but still, that's not the error that we're getting, you guys, because the serialization is doing something for you. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So this worked.
Yeah.
Now we're talking crazy because okay, let's do this for all intents and purposes. Let's go back to here. Let's close all of that. I'm gonna take Brian's model. I'm just gonna destroy it. I'm sorry, Brian. I'm just gonna take all of this out. All of this. I'm gonna take it all out.
Oh, that hard work gone. Oh.
No, no, no. We have source. Come on, man. We have source control. Stop it. Stop. Stop with the drama. Stop with the drama. Oh, my hard work. Why are you guys doing this to me? Okay. All right. I need tea. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna copy that tiny little request. I'm gonna send it over Postman just to make sure that it works in the real world. So this is model mapping. That's okay. If that's the problem, that's the least of our concerns. Send. And that works. Okay, so in here that works. That's great. Now, does it work in our code? Clickety click. And you must provide a model. What is going on? This is crazy. Like, this is literally what we're sending off the wire. So let's see here. I must be doing something. Look, okay, F10. Elbic, you said encoding UTF and media type is text/JSON. So this is all correct. And what am I sending in Postman here?
It's supposed to be application type, Jason.
Maybe that's the problem, you guys. You know, maybe that's the problem. Let's go back to OpenAI. And let's do this. Media type. Application/JSON. That's what Rami was talking about like 3 years ago. Let's do this. That's insane. I don't think that's the problem though. Yep, see what I'm getting now? It's saying we could not parse the JSON body of your request. So it didn't like what we're doing there. So it's definitely something that something in the something sitting in between the. Okay, if I run this one more time and I go to media type, it should give me the application/JSON thing. Yeah, application/JSON. You guys can see it for whatever reason, but this is there, right? And we're processing, and then it's doing a post async, and then it's giving me that response message that it's mad at me for whatever reason. Right. So convert HTTP content. I'm gonna go into the implementation. Oh, you know why it's freaking out? Look, we don't have application/JSON here, you guys.
Hmm.
So we just found a bug. So if I go and say, but wait. Even if it's not application, it should go convert to string content. And whatever media type, line 102 media type. Where is that? 102? 102. Yeah, that's the default unless you pass one. So unless I pass one, it changes it. That's the default value. I think the problem is that if you use the JSON property flag and you don't have that data in your JSON, that the model will barf. If you use the JSON property flag and you don't have that data in your JSON, well, right now, Mark, right now we have all that data. Like if you look at the request, we minimized it. Oh, wait. Do we have things in here that we're not using? Let's see. Oh, so the suffix we didn't use. And then we didn't use the probability mass. And now everything else has a reference in it. Okay, let's try what Mark said. Could be a possibility. Let's see.
So
Not
there's a
all.
sorry, there's a whole heap of defaults with this model. I'm wondering if we, but I didn't include the defaults values because I thought that's what we'll be doing in the foundation service.
Yeah, and that's totally fine, but it should still be tolerant of that. Mark says, Joe, are all of your properties represented in the JSON? Well, they don't have to be, right? Because when we took some of these properties out from the body, the response still came back correctly, right, Mark? So if you look at,
The documentation, all but one is optional.
he's saying I've had this issue before. Look, we didn't represent everything here. If I took away the suffix just like I did right now, does that change anything? Nope, it works just fine. He says I've had this issue before. Okay, let's time ourselves to 5 minutes to see if we can find this, and then I'm gonna send everyone to bed or home to investigate this problem and come back with some answers. Okay.
The,
I mean,
the
we're
encoding's UTF-8. Yes. Yep.
UTF-8. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So the content string here is right. Dude, here's how crazy this is. If I stay all the way down to here and I just do a debug and I copy it as is,
It worked in Postman.
it works in Postman. So something is happening. Wait a second, is the response is also JSON property, so this is okay. I think the problem really is the request. I'm on an iPhone, so sorry for my slow delay. No, you're fine, Mark, don't worry about it. Thank you for your help though. It is something about this model that is being sent over the wire. So if you look at this guy, I'm just gonna put an add watch in here. See if I expand this guy, and there's no way to kind of make this look nice. What is this? I think application JSON should map to convert to JSON string content in that mapping RESTful sense. Oh, really? Is that what it is? Oh, that would be very interesting. Okay, Rami, let's see. This guy is scary smart. He just catches things. I swear I don't know him. He just came out of the blue, but let's give it a shot, you know. Let's see here. Convert to JSON. Oh, wait, you're talking about this. I think application slash this should map to convert to JSON string content in that mapping RESTful sense, which is this one. Right, it goes down to this guy. And this guy just gives you whatever media type you passed in, which is application JSON. So what's wrong with that? It should be okay. Oh, it's not serialized. That's it. That's it. Oh my God. Thanks, Rami. That's what it is. Application slash JSON. That's what it is. That's what it is. I bet you that's what it is. But then again, like, okay, I'll stop arguing. I'll just try and see if that actually works. So in the API itself, I'm just gonna add here application slash JSON. Just gonna add his stuff in here. Let's see if that works. Oh, that might be actually it. I just want to make sure that we hit all the right spots. Yep, that was it. Robbie! Robbie! Let's actually see, did it actually... Man, I'm so lucky with this community, I promise you. Like, yep, there it is. There it is. And then the choices, and then the answers. Everything. Abogazala! How do I give this guy a gift? Like, Rami, just send me your email, give you an Amazon gift card or something. I really appreciate it, man. That's really sweet. That's really, really sweet. So, Elbic, do you know what we have to do? We have a bug in RESTful sense.
I'm creating the issue right now.
Yeah. Create the issue and then create a pull request.
All right.
Now, let me bring back all of Brian's original models. Oh man, Rami, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. So let's go back all the way back and let's go. See, that's the beauty of pair programming, man. It doesn't matter whether you've been doing it for a year or 20 years. I mean, collectively, just so you guys know, just Brian and I in this meeting, that's half a century of experience. And we still need people to come in and we still need people to help. It doesn't matter whether you've been in the industry for a year or 50 million years, you still need people to hang out with you and help you out. That's why this is important.
And a regex expert in the office.
Yeah. You always need a resident. Okay, Rami. Okay, Rami, I'll donate on your behalf. I'll even do it like live in this video just so people know I really appreciate the people that, put in the time and effort. Yeah, if we do it this way, unrecognized request argument supplied best of. Yeah, so Brian, we still have a little problem.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little problem. And the little problem that we have here is that when I brought everything back, yeah, back to Elbic's proposal, which is we need to stay away from JSON property, stick with Newton King. He's actually a nice guy. Brian, Newton King is up your neck of the woods. He's in New Zealand. You should let him use his stuff. You know what I mean? Why aren't you using? I swear to God, he's a principal engineer with us at Microsoft, and he's a really nice guy. Except when you use his conversion too much. After like 1,000 iteration, it says you need to buy a license. I did not like that. I don't mind buying a license, just don't throw that exception on me midway. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, go read the documentation," right? But who does? I mean, come on. Engineers don't read documentation. Okay, so if I do JSON property like this, would this work with this existing fix that Rami proposed? Here we go. No. None is not a type of object.
So this is
Yeah,
coming back to the defaults. Did I get that one wrong? It doesn't have an option. It's not optional.
it's apparently not. So two things. Elbic will make a fix, will deploy, will publish a NuGet package for RESTful Sense. That's the steps. And then all of the stuff that I'm doing here, what we basically gonna do, we're gonna have to. So Brian, I'm gonna push this as work in progress, PR. And then what we really want to do, this is how we're going to test this, right? And then we're going to need to delete a lot of that stuff. So I'm going to say work in progress, fix RESTful Sense, right? And we also need to, I'm going to need to remove RESTful Sense from this project now because, well, for now, we're going to leave it this way and then we're going to pull it back later. Yeah, I'm just going to push committal. So now look at this crazy part. Visual Studio can now see two different repositories. Did you guys know this? Like I can work on two repositories. This goes back to the whole big argument about the mono repo. Do we have one repo or multiple repos? Visual Studio now will allow you to do this. It's pretty cool. But I need to get rid of RESTful Sense actually. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Elbic, you know the fix, right? You're good on the fix? Yes?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
And then let me add RESTful Sense here. The old one. 88,000 people downloaded this library and nobody caught that error. I'm concerned. Really am, I know why it's not, because when we're integrating it with ASP.NET Core APIs, it never gives us that issue. I don't know why. It never ever gives us this issue. So anyway, so here's work in progress. Fix RESTful Sense and investigate models. So Brian, just one homework for you, one tiny homework, which is basically
I'm going to double
find.
check. I'm going to double check the optionals and work out
By the
maybe.
way, just so you know, you might just end up doing something like this in some of
Yes,
these.
I had them in there. I removed them all because I knew they weren't standard compliant. I knew that we were going to move all that stuff up to the foundation service.
Foundation service, and we should. We
Yeah.
probably should.
Hmm. I
Okay,
just
so
got to
this is
find where I put it.
okay. So here's pull and push. I hope I don't get a conflict. Of course I did. And just give me a second. Take current. Uh, where's the accept button? They keep changing it on me. I swear to God, dude. Like,
I get lost with the screens and resolution changes. I get.
the work in progress. Here's the whole thing. Okay. All right. You push it now. Okay, I'm gonna create a draft just for other people to kind of take a look and if they want to kind of investigate. But we have a solution. We have a very good solution, and this is here brokers post completion request, and I'm gonna open this in draft mode here. So just these two things. Elbic, you have the issue, and Brian, you have the
Model. Yep.
other model. And also, let's do this before I forget. I think it's one here. Here we go. This is just for Rami. I'm gonna put in, $20, other $21 because I like odd numbers. Just for the amazing stuff that he did today. I appreciate you, brother. This is great. It's gonna help a lot of people. All right, we're good. Done. Great session. and super thank you to the community. I really appreciate, your contributions, and let's keep this going. Hey Kailu, are you still in there? Kailu. Yeah, he's out. He fell asleep. He's like, this is a long and boring
Yep.
podcast. I'm out of here, All right, guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you all so very much, and let's connect tomorrow, same time. Stay tuned. Take care. Bye.
But